Once again, welcome to the Patriots Sports Network. We've got our second game of our doubleheader here up against the Augusta Jaguars. Our Patriots men team come in with a record of 3-9 in the Peach Belt Conference, 3-9 overall, and the Augusta Jaguars come in with an overall record of 8-6, 6-6 in the Peach Belt Conference. The Patriots have been a little bit snake bit this entire season, where we have had 5 games where we have lost by 4 points or less. So 5 games just decided by a couple of baskets. And I was talking to Coach Edwards from the Patriots just the other day, and he was talking about things with his team, and he said 1 or 2 defensive stops, and that's another couple of wins for the ball club. So he was emphasizing defense during that practice session that I was observing. But it was really, really a poignant piece of coaching, especially when you think about 5 games with 4 points or less. That's just a really amazing stat for this year, but it also tells you a lot about the competitiveness of this Patriots ball club. I'm Hubert Setzler on the Patriots Broadcast Network. I'm along with Paul McDonald. How are you doing this evening once again?
Doing fantastic, and you were talking about the snake-bit Patriots, the men's squad. They've had some very, very good outings, some very, very quality, competitive outings. 3-9 really doesn't depict just how close they are to being in the mid-range of the pack of the Peach Belt. And as you mentioned, a couple of defensive stops here and there, and they've also been at the losing end of just a couple of untimely turnovers late in games, and just sometimes they're great work by the opposing defense, and other times it's been just rare blips by the Patriot ball handlers that have resulted in ties being broken and leads being taken over by the opposing team. And with 30 seconds to go, mistakes can happen on both ends, but if you're constantly creating those mistakes, then unfortunately you're going to yield a couple of these losses. And like you said, 5 or 6 games within 3 or 4 points. If you split those games in half, the Patriots would be 1 game within 500, or just tipping the scales at 500. Instead, they're at 3-9, 250 on the season.
Absolutely. And the Jaguars are at that 500 point. They are 6-6 on the season. I'm not going to count UNC Pembroke right now because they're 3-2 on the season, so they're a bunch of win backs. But technically, from a winning percentage standpoint, they are 1 slot above Augusta, but we'll take them out of the picture right now. Augusta, if you do that, is 5th in the Peach Belt Conference right now. It's very similar to their women's team. They're 2 wins down in the win column behind USC Aiken and Georgia Southwestern. So they are very much alive in this Peach Belt Conference tournament race. So this game for the Jaguars is going to be huge.
Absolutely crucial. They really need this one. Now, the Patriots need it too. The Patriots need to finish this season on a quality note. They've got 2 games left here, but for Augusta, it's critical to take down this game and one other this weekend to have any hope of sneaking into the playoffs. They'll need a little help from USC Aiken. Aiken's going to have to lose a couple of games, and for Augusta, they're going to need to get up to that 8 victory mark to see if they can get into a 3-way tiebreak, assuming either of those teams don't get to 9 victories.
That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at that starting lineup for the Jaguars. Again, they come in at 6-6 in the Peach Belt Conference. Nobody will have any trouble spotting this young man on the floor when he comes out. He's a 7'1" junior center from Griffin, Georgia, number 0, Tyshawn Crawford. And I've watched this young man for the last couple of years play, and he is a big man with a big suite of skills. He is very athletic, and he's very rangy, so he's a fun young man to watch. They also have a 6-foot junior guard from Baltimore, Maryland, number 2, Tyree Myers. A 6'1" junior guard from Capitol Heights, Maryland, number 11, Darren Lucas White. Starting at 6'8" sophomore forward from Augusta, Georgia, number 21, Timmy Sellers. And rounding out their starting five, a 6'5" freshman forward from Augusta, Georgia, number 34, John Whitehead III. The head coach for the Jaguars in his 25th season with them is Dimitris.
Can you handle the Patriots?
And let's take a look now at that Patriots starting lineup. Patriots coming in at 3-9 in the Peach Belt Conference. Starting at forward, a 6'4" junior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 0, Langston Gaither. A guard, a 6'5" senior from Rockville, Maryland, number 3, Holden Redparth. Running the point, a 6'2" junior guard from Concord, North Carolina, number 11, Alex Cox.
And now the starting lineup.
Power forward, a 6'6" sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina, number 21, Darius Dawson. And in the middle, a 6'7" junior center from Eagle Lake, Minnesota, number 23, Ohan Ochan. The head coach of the Patriots is head coach Gary Edwards in his 15th season.
And the Patriots fell to Augusta 69-62 in a very, very competitive matchup at Augusta earlier this season. So I'm looking for the Patriots to see if they can do a little chalk talk and maybe come up with a better way to provide the defense, like you said, against Tyshawn Crawford. And we'll have to look out for what that foul situation might be. Ohana Ochan out on the floor. He'll be charged with some of that defense against the big man for Augusta. But who else is Coach Edwards going to rotate out there to try to defend Tyshawn Crawford? We'll have to wait and see. The height differential is just massive there. It's a big advantage for Augusta.
We may see a player, and I'm not sure if we will, that we haven't seen a lot of this season. We see him from time to time, but our 7-foot freshman center from Lithuania, Julius Radonius. So we'll see if he gets out there just to have fouls and have a body.
That's right, and to show him some length. And Tyshawn Crawford then not generally used to seeing that kind of length in front of him. We'll have to see how Radonius, if he gets out on the floor, can Radonius match up against him, maybe put a couple of fouls out there and slow things up and put some pressure on Crawford and the rest of the Jaguars.
And Dawson did a good job trying to match up against the big man on the tip-off circle, but the Jaguars control man-to-man defense by the Patriots. They go over the top immediately, and an easy slam dunk by Tyshawn Crawford.
Yep, out of the reach of Ohana Ochan. Ochan was trying to defend him, but just too quick of a move from Tyshawn Crawford. You had mentioned earlier, he's not just a load down there underneath. He's got some good mobility and some great skill, and he's showing that already.
Dawson didn't draw iron from the free throw line. Ochan tried to scrap it away, couldn't get it. And the Jaguars come away with it. Myers walks it up the floor. Looks for the high screen from Crawford. Alex Smith is on Crawford right now. They switch up. They go over the top once again. The Patriots triple team him. He kicks out. Open three, left side. Back iron, no good. Patriots cannot corral that defensive glass, and Crawford puts down his second basket early in this ball game. That got head coach Gary Edwards off the bench. He called a 30-second timeout to talk about how he wants to attack that player in the middle.
Yes, and for the Patriots, they handled him well the first time on that second possession. They collapsed with 3 players down underneath, and it's going to take that many bodies to physically work him to prevent him from scoring. Instead, he kicks it out. That ball comes back to him with enough room to knock it down. So 4 easy points so far for Tyshawn Crawford early on here in this game.
I thought it was a good job of collapsing the defense on him. They just could not wrestle away any defensive rebound there. Patriots find themselves down by 4 early. Smith sporting a new hairdo. So does Redparth. Maybe changing some things up. trying to get some new mojo. Redpath gets it to the free throw line. Backs up, front iron, no good. Three-pointer left side, no good, but a backdoor follow by Darren Lucas White.
Fantastic putback by White. White got high up on the glass to take up that rebound, and he made no mistake. The one-handed tip-in, great job by Lucas White.
Redpath, quick three, no good. Patriots need to put a body on that defensive glass, already giving up multiple opportunities on 2 possessions. Crawford drives in on Ochan. It goes up with the left hand, no good, and the Patriots finally pull down the ball. Redpath with a great athletic move to keep it into Gaither. Or the Patriots were going to turn the ball right back over to Augusta.
Yep, they would have regretted that. They had the steal, they got the possession, and then a little bit of a fumble on that sideline. And Redpath, nice job by him to make the save.
And Gaither couldn't get the ball to go down. Crawford comes away with a rebound, and Gaither picks up his first foul, trying to strip it away. We're going to see Edmondson check in, number 32 for the Patriots. Also, number 30, Javon Anderson. Javon Anderson getting a lot of playing time this year. He's the 6'2 freshman guard from Columbia, South Carolina. It's been fun watching that young man develop. He can sometimes be a little helter-skelter, just the youth and the excitement right now, but he is a pure shooter and a phenomenal athlete.
It reminds me a bit of a player that I used to play with in a different sport. If he made a great play, then he always followed it up with a little bit too much adrenaline. So what we're really watching for with Javon Anderson is for him to get hot, but then not to get out in front of himself, maybe out ahead of his skis, and then maybe do some poor defense or get overly aggressive on the next possession. So for him, watching him develop, definitely a very, very good player and good on the future of the Patriots. He, the freshman guard from Columbia, South Carolina.
He's kind of like me in my golf game. I'll hit a birdie, and then the very next hole is double bogey. Crawford knocks down his first free throw. Second one rattles home. So he's got 6 points early on in this ball game. Patriots have yet to hit the score sheet. Edmondson's a strong body on the inside. Coach Edwards probably brought him in to see if he can't fight down some rebounds. Gaither steps back, goes over the top, in and out, no good.
Tough luck by the Patriots so far. They can't quite seem to knock any down. Augusta has contested every single shot that the Patriots have taken so far today.
Inside, Crawford has it. He tried to skip it outside, but Anderson knocks it out. It will stay Augusta ball. And the Patriots really haven't gotten what I'd consider an easy look. They've had okay looks, but not an easy look so far. Good defense by the Jaguars.
Yep, I agree. And in the meantime, Lucas White knocks down a three from the baseline, and more strength from Augusta. But as you said, Hubert, not a lot of great looks for the Patriots, so credit the defense of Augusta here early on.
Edmondson works in on Crawford, kicks it outside. And a teardrop finally goes down. Number 24, Matthew Lee, gets the first points for the Patriots. And when did Matthew sneak in there? I didn't see him.
And neither did Augusta, so he knocks down those 2 points. A hot start for Augusta, 11-2 here early on. We're not even 5 minutes in, and now they're happy to slow things down while they try to work the ball back down underneath. The Patriots have really prevented, over the last couple of possessions, prevented that ball from getting down cleanly to Tyshawn Crawford, and the result has been higher pressure against the Augusta offense.
Matt Lee gets the rebound, goes up strong, gets it blocked away. And Anderson for three, no good. He gets his own rebound, goes up strong, and the ball was knocked out of bounds.
Oh, I think that there was a goaltend missed there. That ball was on its way down. Now, maybe the officials determined that it was not approaching the rim, therefore it would not be considered a shot and not a goaltend, but sure looked like a goaltend from here.
Crawford did obviously get a hand on the ball. There was a definite tick on there, but no love for the Patriots on that one. We are on the board, though, with 15:21 to go in this first half. Our first media timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. This is the Patriots Sports Network.
The Swamp Fox Club is a fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Back here at the Smith Center, Jaguars have possession and a 9-point lead.
And already 8 rebounds for Augusta, and 2 for Crawford, 2 for Sellers, and 2 for Whitehead, along with 1 each for Lucas White and Myers. So spreading the love on the glass for Augusta. That's a big part of why they have a 9-point lead here.
Good ball movement by the Jaguars. They go inside, kick it out. Stolen away by Anderson. 3-on-2. Let's see what Anderson does with it. He tried to get it over to Edmondson. Matthew Lee has it, and again, the teardrop, and Matthew Lee scoring for the Patriots once again. 4-11 is our score. Ball knocked out, and yes, we do see number 25, Julius Rodonius, check in for the Patriots.
Yep, and we're going to see that length match up against Tyshawn Crawford, or at least match up underneath in the paint when the situation arises. I wouldn't expect anything less, but now Crawford out at the point for a moment, not point guard, but out at his unfamiliar non-paint area.
And Crawford goes right at him and goes over the top of him.
Yeah,
I'll take that defense, though.
Yeah, but Crawford really wasn't worried about Rodonius on that one. He just went up and at him.
Wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to make a statement or establish something there. Rodonius pump fakes, goes up with the right hand and gets the foul. Let's see if they call that on Crawford or number 35, John Whitehead.
Yep, and if you're a Patriot, you'd really like to see Crawford in foul trouble, but instead that's Whitehead on the foul. Crawford's been very, very disciplined. He doesn't get himself into trouble, but instead Rodonius gets his first free throw of the game.
Yeah, puts it off the front iron, no good. We're going to see Ohan back in for the Patriots, and Edmondson will come to the bench. Second free throw, back iron. It's on the deck, and looks like we have a jump ball. That will be Patriots ball.
The only concern I have there is that on the miss, Rodonius didn't chase his missed shot. He kind of scorned himself after missing the back end of the 2 free throws. He could have gotten that ball cleanly. Instead, he has to settle for the jump ball.
Rodonius pumps the 3. Crawford's out on him. When Crawford is 20 feet away from the basket, I think the Patriots need to try to get inside.
Yeah, because those moments are very few and far between.
Rodonius kept it alive, but there wasn't a Patriot there. Fast break opportunity. Nice defense by Anderson. What an athletic block that time on the fast break, and then gets the ball stolen right away. Now it's the numbers and easy basket for the Jaguars. Boy, that was a 4-point swing that I thought we had going the other direction.
It really was, but in the end, Flaner, instead of trying to bring the house down with a jam, he smartly lays it in. No risk of rimming out there. He likes to take that lead. He takes that lead to 11 on the steal for Augusta.
Redparth takes the quick 3 left side. No good, jammed in. He hit the deck, and the Patriots don't get back on defense. And another quick basket. Patriots down by 13 with 13 to go in the first half.
Lucas White with an explosive move to the rim, and he actually worked his way around Javon Anderson simply by exploding past him. Anderson had some reasonable position there to make the defense, but Lucas White quickly goes by him for the lay-in.
It was difficult for Anderson to do anything on that because it was basically 3-on-1. So the minute he shades and commits directly to one player than the pass and the easy basket going on the other side. It's one of those, what do? Do you take the ball and give up the backside? And I think he kind of hedged his bet, and Lucas went right through there and easy score.
That's right. So the most recent points have been fast break points. Early on, it was mostly underneath to Tyshawn Crawford in the half-court offense, but instead with the recent steals from Augusta, they're running that fast break and knocking down easy lay-ins, or at least fast break pressured lay-ins with numbers like a 3-on-1, 2-on-1. So good on Augusta. They're changing it up as they go.
Patriots haven't got an uncontested three-pointer off today. So, oh my goodness. I think Redpath was trying to get it over to Alex Smith and ended up.
He caught Ben Jones in traffic. Boy, he couldn't have hit Ben Jones any harder on the shoulder with that basketball. Ben Jones is looking at him like, hey, I'm right here. And Redpath was pointing as if he absolutely didn't see him. He's trying to get it around him into the corner.
Crawford. I'll take him out there on the right elbow all day long. You want to put him 15 feet from the rim, I'm good with that.
Yes, please.
Ochan working hard. That's got to be a thankless and an exhausting effort to have to push on that big man for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and there's some leverage issues there, too. Even if Ochan and Tyshawn Crawford, even if they're neck and neck in the weight room, there's some physics involved with going 7'1" against 6'7" in that post.
Reverse. Pivot, no good. And the Patriots, good defensive set that time as Lucas White can't convert.
And I think it started with Tyshawn Crawford being out at the elbow instead of underneath. I wouldn't call it a mistake. I think it's just a different look Augusta's trying to give the Patriots, but the Patriots capitalize by working the entire shot clock on that one.
And Gaither goes down. Redpath goes over the top of one of the Jaguars. That was a tough play that time. I hope Lucas White is okay. He's up and working around.
Yeah, Redpath rolled right over him, and that could have ended a lot worse. But instead, Lucas White gets up unscathed. Good on him. Tough kid.
So that takes us to a media timeout where the Patriots are down by 13, but they do have possession. When we come back, this is the Patriots Sports Network. Patriots will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Redpath will have those honors. On the floor, Redpath, Gaither, Jones, Smith, and Ochan. Gaither on the left elbow. Gets it over Redpath. Redpath, three. That one's no good as well, but Ben Jones sneaks in for the offensive rebound. And the Patriots reset. Gaither gets the high screen, gets double teamed. Woo, Ochan almost had it stolen away on the soft pass by Gaither. 5 on the shot clock. Smith, step back. 15-footer, back iron, no good. And once again, the Patriots with a long rebound. Gaither, great pass on the interior, and Gaither finishes easily. 6 points.
Boy, just what the doctor ordered, an easy lay-in from Gaither. Augusta has collapsed very, very well underneath, so the quick pass underneath with no time for Augusta to collapse on that defensively. Gaither knocks it down.
Ball stolen away. Redparth. 4-on-2 break. Ochon cannot corral the pass by Redparth.
And it's kind of a bad sign. I see Redparth, I see Ochon, palms up. Palms up is a classic sign of frustration. And I think they're as frustrated with the score as they are with each other. They really want to score when they can. They want to claw back in. They're very competitive peeps. But when you're as frustrated as you are early on, not even 10 minutes in, already an 11-point lead for Augusta. Patriots are kind of pressing right now to score.
They try to get it into Crawford, and it's an errant pass by number 4, Sean Moss. Turnover goes to the Patriots. We're going to see a substitution. John Whitehead, the third, will check back in.
And Cox is going to bring the ball up here. He hasn't had a lot of calm opportunities to bring the ball up, so for him to get the ball moving, Augusta is going to be satisfied to let the Patriots move into their half-court offense.
Jones gets it over Smith. Three-pointer. In and out, no good. I was about to scream Shotzi on that one. It looked like it was going down, and it just spun out. Myers drives down that side. He's going to pick up a foul on number 5, Ben Jones. His first personal foul. Team's third. Quick hands by Redparth. Ball goes out of bounds on the sideline. So from inbounding underneath their own basket to inbounding on the sidelines, we're going to see Lucas White get it in. Myers works on Smith. Three-pointer. Lucas White, no good. Ben Jones couldn't quite get the rebound. And a soft shot up, no good by Arnold. Patriots come back the other way. And we're going to have a jump ball, and this one will go to the Jaguars. Another frustrating play. You can see it on Redparth's face, but really good defense that time by the Jaguars. Redparth is such an athlete, he was thinking he could make a move and get by, and just really good defense and tangled up the play.
Yes, Redparth is fast enough to compete with the fastest in the Peach Belt, but Augusta was true to the task on that one, and that's another one denied by Augusta that the Patriots would really like to have back.
Meyer looking for the entry pass. Doesn't see it. They work it back around. Drive inside. Off the side iron. No good. Crawford had the rebound. And again, the Patriots can't pull in that defensive glass. End up committing a foul on the interior. That's going to be on number 11, Alex Cox. That's going to put number 35, John Whitehead III, on the line to shoot a pair. Back iron the first one, no good. He's a 60% free throw shooter. Hasn't been to the line much this year. Only 11 attempts after that one.
And Whitehead just a freshman, so he's working his way into the starting lineup here. And only good things from him to come on the Augusta squad.
And the long rebound. Crawford can't get it to go down either. And Darius finally comes away with a rebound for the Patriots. Gaither takes it in three-point range. No good. Another one in and out. And the Patriots can't buy a basket here.
Tough one for Gaither. He had the look that he liked. He normally knocks that down. One of the top three-point shooters in the conference, and number 3 in the conference in scoring, and yet he has not gotten untracked yet today.
Second chance opportunities killing the Patriots once again as they give up a second chance offensive rebound pair, down by 13. Ben Jones straightaway three, Side iron, no good.
And normally that's a good look for Ochan. Ochan turned around and he saw the 7-footer in Crawford behind him. He decided to kick it back out.
Gaither gets his pocket pick. Fantastic defense once again by Meyer. And Meyer's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
And again, I can't say enough about the work of Darren Lucas White. Had that play continued, Lucas White was there for the rebound. He is just speedy and all over the place. I know he's playing guard, but he's more like a 3-guard. He's going to the glass, or a 3-guard/forward. He's going all over the place. I like his speed. He's not all over the scoreboard, but he's really the grease that's keeping this machine running for Augusta.
And we'd like to find a cog in our machine that would get us started here, and we'll see if that can happen in this last 7 minutes and 45 seconds of the first half. Patriots down by 13. 6:19 is our score. This is the Patriots Sports Network.
The Swamp Fox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 It's been a really tough start for the Patriots in this first half of play. Great defense by the Jaguars in many cases and really good offensive board play, but the Patriots have not been able to get any kind of really easy and good looks at all this entire game so far.
Right, none of the 6 points from FMU have come easy. Only 2 for Gaither, 4 for Matthew Lee, and that wraps up the scoring for the Patriots. And boy, it's been slim pickings here so far for the Pats this evening.
We're not even averaging a half a point a minute, so it's been quite tough. The easiest basket we had was that Gaither on the Redpath no-look pass that had him wide open.
And that was a great possession, but unfortunately they need several more possessions to get back into this that have that kind of crisp movement as that easy lay-in for Gaither.
Redoni is back in the ball game, bodying up against Crawford. Had a shot attempt, didn't go down. Crawford, kick it out. 3-pointer left side, no good. And Redonius comes away with a rebound.
Nice job by Redonius, bodying up against Tyshawn Crawford. And the result is a good quality rebound and a denial of the Augusta possession.
Patriots down 14. Redonius goes in softly with the left hand, and he goes over the top of Crawford. So a good play on the defensive end, and then a solid offensive soft left hand to give the Patriots their 8th point.
A little baby hook from Redonius, the freshman from Lithuania, and some good defense by him on the prior possession, and then, of course, the toss in here a moment ago.
Daniel Allen drove in for the Jaguars. He was fouled by number 30, Javon Anderson. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. He knocks down the first one. That's only his 3rd free throw attempt. He's made 2 out of 3 this season.
And we are well into the season, so it's interesting to see him go to the line. Very, very seldom does he have that opportunity.
He misses the second one, and Redonius comes away with a rebound. Redonius for 3 straight away, front iron, no good.
Redonius with a good look and just kind of barely missed it. It was a good stroke, but not quite enough. He was feeling it and trying to get the Patriots into double digits. Instead, he's got a D up.
Redpath, good defense. Almost took an elbow to the chin. We've got 6 on the shot clock now. There's a drive inside. Strong off the glass, no good. Kept alive by Crawford. Ball's on the ground, and we have another jump ball. It's going to be another tie-up, and this one will benefit the Patriots.
And Anderson was going to hold on to that ball until it was pried away from his hands. You could see that there was a little bit of an edge to him. Again, a little bit of that frustration for the Patriots trying to get back into this game. And one of those is that held ball right there. So the Patriots take over with Alex Cox bringing the ball up to half court.
And Anderson loses the ball, but Dawson's Johnny on the spot to recollect it. Anderson, not a good shot in my selection with the fadeaway or the fade to the side shot. I'm not a fan of moving laterally toward the basket. I don't mind if you're moving forward or backward as long as you're on line, but the side shots are really difficult to line up properly, and that one didn't quite get it.
Yeah, he was not square, so there was really any make that he was going to have there was going to be a very lucky one, and it's a low percentage shot.
Gaither goes up strong with the right hand, in and out, no good. He hits the deck hard, but the Patriots maintain possession. That's 3 shots in the last 5 possessions that have gone down and out for the Patriots, and another steal.
And we get some contact there, but it's going to be no call. The lay-in for Darren Lucas White with the left hand. Nice job by him. Again, another quick athletic move to get to the rim.
And that's a very good finish by Lucas White, because I would say that Darius Dawson is probably our best defender. And I've seen him make many plays in transition, and Gaither gets through.
And Gaither was looking to not bring the house down with a dunk and maybe get the momentum back. I'd have really preferred a lay-in there. The Patriots need points. They don't need flash points right now. They need points to get back into this game. So Gaither's going to go to the line, but he could be going to the line with an and one here. Instead, he's going just to try to make 2 and get the Patriots to double digits.
So Gaither at the line, one of our better free throw shooters. The foul was on number 25, Daniel Allen. That's his first personal foul. Only the team's second.
Number 5, Ben Jones.
Ben Jones, number 5, back in for the Patriots.
Yep, like you said, only the team's second. The Patriots really have not threatened underneath. They've really stayed away from the length of Tyshawn Crawford, and as a result, not drawing a ton of fouls, which you would normally see for teams that have driven the lane. Instead, the Patriots are settling for some shots that maybe they wouldn't even prefer. Augusta has really put the pressure on to prevent them from going down underneath while still preventing that mid-range shot from being an easy one.
Patriots now down by 13. Jaguars moving the ball around the perimeter. Allen gets it over to Meyer. Allen takes a floater from the top of the key, no good. And Dawson couldn't corral the defense.
Timeout on the floor.
And Coach Edwards is a little bit upset that wasn't called. Even though it was a ticky-tack foul, it was still, it knocked Darius off the ball. It could have been called, but that's going to take us to our last media timeout here of this first half of play. Augusta will have possession and a 13-point lead when we come back. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Well, the Patriots have had an abysmal offensive start to this game, but to their credit, they're still in this ball game somewhat. They've only given up 23 points. Three-pointer right side blocked, and Ochan comes away with the rebound. Great block that time by Darius Dawson.
Yep, good defense by the Patriots. Only 23 points for Augusta. About 3.5 to go in this game, in this half, but only 10 for the Patriots. More on the Patriots, really just struggling on every possession to get a good shot. They haven't had many good quality attempts at the rim.
Crawford finds a cutting. Lucas, no good. Offensive rebound stripped away, and the Patriots just can't get control of it. They're playing hard down there. They've got a height disadvantage, but they are really working hard, just can't get some of those defensive rebounds. And another errant pass. Turnover goes to the Patriots.
Yep, so the Patriots are getting opportunities to get back here with some missed possessions by Augusta, but Patriots need to respond with points on some of these if they're going to get back into this and cut the lead down to single digits.
Now, if you look at the players on the floor, Paul, look at the points scored by those players up on the Jumbotron.
Well, a lot of donuts up there. Donuts are good for breakfast, but they are not good in the evening basketball game. And to the Augusta's credit, nobody on the floor for the Patriots have scored a point yet, and there's 2:40 to go in the first half.
Jaguars working the ball down. They get it to the block. Find a cutting Whitehead the third, and let's see if we get the charge, and we do.
Nice job by Javon Anderson. He stays right in there. That's a very physical move, and he gets himself set, and he's smart not to be in the cylinder. So with his feet outside of the cylinder, he draws that charge foul, and the Patriots get another possession.
Anderson. Dawson. Three-pointer, Shotzi over the top of Crawford.
Just what the doctor ordered. Ben Jones knocks down the tray, and the Patriots are now within 10. It was looking pretty bleak earlier. To be within 10 right now, boy, I tell you what, I think the Patriots will take it. Still with 2 minutes to go to cut into this lead just a little bit more.
I love the fact that Dawson made that shot, but it was also a difficult shot for Dawson to make. It wasn't uncontested, so they have to work for everything. And now we've got a hoop and a foul on the interior as we're going to see Lucas White go see if he can get the bonus and give the Jaguars back that 13-point lead.
Just physical effort from Lucas White. He calms himself there from the line to try to knock down the and one, and sure enough he does, and the lead is extended to 13. Augusta has doubled up the Patriots 26-13.
Ben Jones has it deep on the left wing. Anderson, top of the key, they leave him alone. He takes the three, no good. And Dawson can't get inside for the offensive rebound.
I actually don't mind that look. He made one a little bit earlier, and that wasn't a bad shot by him. It just hit hard off the rim. Rebound to Augusta.
And Lucas White drives inside, gets into the bleachers. 6 on the shot clock. Lucas White drives into the lane, goes up strong. They're going to call this on Javon Anderson with an elbow. That's his second personal foul.
Yeah, and this will be a 1-and-1. That ball was on. That's being called on the floor. But Lucas White, a very, very good free throw shooter. He's really looking to make this front end have an opportunity at 2.
Patriots just really finding it hard on the offensive end this evening. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Rodonius gets the rebound. The Patriots, under a minute to go in this first half, can cut into the 13-point lead. A quick pass inside by Dawson, and Rodonius couldn't handle it. Goes out of bounds. Turnover back to Augusta.
And that's probably about the only major concern for Rodonius, why he hasn't seen a ton of time in the season. He is a long defender, and he can provide some great length scoring-wise, but his handles need to improve. That was a good example.
And again, the Patriots cannot get that defensive rebound, and they're going to call Rodonius.
Good work by Whitehead III to work his way around Rodonius, and they're not hesitating to just go ahead and drive the lane against Rodonius. Rodonius is doing a good job trying to defend. However, he is fouling, as you had mentioned earlier in this game, Hubert. Part of why he's out there are for his fouls, to put pressure on guys, not to just have a free attempt at the rim. And sure enough, the result is this one. Whitehead misses the front end of his two shots. So good quality strategy, putting Rodonius out there underneath the rim to defend.
And again, a couple of free throws missed by Augusta, allowing the Patriots to stay in this one. Only a fraction of a second separating the shot clock and the game clock. And Coach Edwards wants Alex Cox to take the air out of this ball and go into the locker room with no more than a 13-point deficit. Under 10 now. Cox looks for the high screen. He gets it. Back to Dawson. Dawson drives in. The ball is stripped away. And the Patriots score 13 points in the first half of play, only giving up 26. Not hot shooting, I would say, by Augusta, but the Patriots really struggling on the offensive end. Not getting any help from the officials with the disparity in fouls, 9-3. And it seemed like you were talking about the Augusta, every time they were driving, they were getting fouls and getting sent to the free throw line a great amount of times. Every time the Patriots drove, they weren't getting to the line.
That's right, and that can make all the difference momentum-wise. I don't know that that's the entire difference in this game. I still think Augusta has the edge, but are they a 13-point leader? I'm not so sure about that. I think the key is the rebounding. 30 rebounds for Augusta, 19 for the Patriots, and if and 12 of those were offensive rebounds for Augusta. Early on, they were making putbacks off those offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds, 12-6 in favor of Augusta. It's hard to get things done against a team as strong as Augusta when the deficit in rebounding is so pronounced in favor of the Jaguars.
Absolutely. We'll see what Coach Edwards puts together in the second half. He's been able to see exactly what's going on. I think he'll have the opportunity to make some adjustments. Only 13 points down. That's not with our ability to score from beyond the arc, not tonight, but normally that 13-point deficit can evaporate very quickly. I thought we played hard in that first half. We just have to figure out a way to corral that defensive glass and keep those possessions away from them.
Yes, I think it's the defensive glass, and also, and we had highlighted this earlier, they need to find a way to create some easier shots. I couldn't tell you about maybe better for all 20 minutes, maybe 5 possessions had reasonably quality shots for the Patriots. So you've got to give a ton of credit to Augusta for putting all of that pressure on. We talked about Tyshawn Crawford early. He was kind of quiet late, but as he got quiet later, Darren Lucas White took over. He's now the points leader for Augusta. Lucas White with 10 on the game so far. And it's not just Lucas White, it's Crawford. And then across the board, Fleener was causing some problems for the Patriots, including a couple of possessions late. He was very active with the ball. You got to give Augusta a lot of credit, but at the same time, the Patriots are within striking distance. They do have that 3-point range. A 13-point lead in the Peach Belt with 20 minutes to go is not safe.
Lucas White with 10 points almost outscored the entire Patriot squad here in the first half. I would not assume that would continue on in the second half. This is an anomaly. We'll see some scoring from our Patriots, but we're going to have to wait 12 minutes to see it. So we're going to pause right now during this halftime with the Patriots down 13. We'll come back in about 10 minutes or so to set the table for second half Peach Belt Conference action. This is the Patriots Sports Network.
Choosing a college isn't easy. There are lots of choices to make and so many variables to consider. How do you know when you've found just the right place? The right college will make you feel at home, and that begins with a sense of place. At Francis Marion University, we have a beautiful campus that's safe, well-maintained, and filled with smiling faces. It's the kind of place where you feel you belong, where you wake up in the morning and know that the day ahead will be one you'll savor and enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean life at FMU is easy. There will be challenges. Hard work is expected. We take our academics seriously. You should too. Earning one of our degrees is a real achievement. But some toil, some time invested in a difficult task, that's okay. That's how you grow, how you become someone. FMU is a comprehensive public university, and when it comes to academics, our students have a wide range of choices. We offer more than 75 majors and courses of study. Our professional schools in healthcare, engineering, business, and education are all well known and respected across the state. At the same time, the arts and the sciences remain the core of what we do. They are the perfect foundation for a successful career and a meaningful life. Programs are important, and we'll continue to work to produce new curriculum that meets the needs of our changing world. But we also know that a great education is less about what is taught and more about who is doing the teaching. FMU's faculty is made up of distinguished scholars and renowned researchers. They're experts in their field and expert teachers too. They love the give and take of the classroom and revel in the progress their students make. In FMU's intimate academic environment, where small classes are the norm, you'll get to know a lot of these dedicated men and women. Some you will remember forever. The academic work and its rewards are why you are here. But there will be a time and place for play, too. We have more than 60 different student organizations and field teams in 14 NCAA sports. A robust schedule of extracurriculars is a big part of each semester. You'll find space here for rest and relaxation. You'll make new friends and build relationships that last a lifetime. And then, almost as quickly as it all began, it will be over. You will graduate and move on to a life and career full of promise. You'll leave memories behind. You'll leave FMU, but you'll be welcome back anytime. Home is like that, you know. Welcome home. Welcome to FMU.
Hi everybody, I'm John Sweeney, Francis Marion class of 2009. This university means a lot to me. The people that I met and the experiences I had here, I cherish to this day. Over the next couple of minutes, I want to take you on a tour of this university that means so much to me. I want to show you my university. The first thing I'll mention, and I imagine it's the first thing you'd notice, is that Francis Marion is a beautiful place. It's just outside the city of Florence, but the university is not in the city. It's in a rural setting. It's pretty, peaceful, and safe. FMU's main campus is carved out of some 400 acres of former farms and forests in a delightfully natural way. We're under a canopy of mature trees. Thousands of native plants were cultivated to form an attractive landscape that FMU students pass through every day. The campus is beautiful year-round, but the azaleas are particularly amazing in the spring. It's a beautiful place to visit, but it's an even better place to go to school. And you are here to go to school, to learn, and grow as a person. That will happen here at FMU. Now, we have some terrific laboratory and classroom spaces. Come on, let's go take a look. This is Founders Hall, our main classroom building. I spent a lot of time here. McNair and Leatherman are home to the sciences. I didn't spend a lot of time here. Nope, not here either. Now this looks familiar. Welcome to the Hyman Fine Arts Building. A new Honors Center is currently under construction on campus, and in the past few years, FMU has built an impressive presence in downtown Florence. This new campus includes the FMU Performing Arts Center, the Carter Center for Health Sciences, University Place, and coming soon, the Leatherman Medical Complex. And in the near future, we'll begin work on a freshwater ecology lab, not far from the main campus. We've even got planetariums and simulation labs. But academics here are about more than buildings. They're about community, about people. You form bonds with classmates and professors, and the classes are great. Our professors are experts in their fields, and they love to be in the classroom. You'll learn a lot about the major you choose. You'll hear more about that later. And you'll learn a lot about life. Francis Marion is an interesting place with a diverse student population. We have older students who are coming back to study for their second career, and lots of hard-working students with jobs both on and off campus, which means there are some commuters here. But many of our students live right here in our residence halls, which means we have a rich on-campus environment. The Forest Villas are modern apartments with nice amenities. But a lot of upperclassmen love the Village Apartments, Francis Marion's original student housing. They're conveniently located to campus, the outdoor pool is right next door, and they have recently been remodeled and upgraded. An assortment of eateries, snack bars, and coffee shops provide needed fuel. The Smith University Center, the largest building on campus, is a great place to hang out and blow off a little steam. Our 60-plus student organizations add to the mix by hosting a wide range of events throughout the year. Everything from FMU's Got Talent to the President's Bowl Quiz Tournament to First Friday and the annual student competitions at Arts International. It is a good thing they didn't have these when I was here. I wouldn't have ever left. Athletics plays an important role here at Francis Marion. We've got great facilities like Griffin Athletic Complex and lots of successful teams. FMU athletes have won 5 national championships in just 50 years, and we've produced dozens of legendary players. Our athletes come from across the country and around the globe. They add to the flavor of the student body. Athletes are always among our very best students. We think that's the way it should be. By the way, the very first game on this field pitted Francis Marion against the defending national champions from the University of South Carolina. Wonder who won that game? Oh yeah, I remember. Well, that's a quick look around campus. I didn't get a chance to show you everything, and we didn't talk about everything. Like this guy, our namesake, General Francis Marion. But hopefully I gave you an idea of what a wonderful place FMU is and how much it means to alumni like me. This place is special. It's my university. Maybe you'll make it yours.
Welcome back here to the Smith Center on the lovely campus of Francis Marion University. We're getting ready for second half basketball action, and I was talking to the SID. I was making a little joke about the offensive statistics for the Patriots in that half, and he said it won't take you too long to go over them. We're looking at the halftime stat leaders for the Patriots right now. Langston Gaither and Matthew Lee are our leading scorers with 4 points apiece. Julius Rodonius, I think, has done a good job on trying to negate the huge presence of Caldwell on the interior. He's also got 5 rebounds. The Patriots have been dramatically out-rebounded, 30-19, and to have 5 of those come from Julius Rodonius off the bench, I'd say that's a victory for the Patriots and one of the few victories we've had in this first half.
That's right, a moral victory alone, and for the Patriots to get back into it, they need to continue with the kind of successful defense that they've been playing. But as you highlighted, with 2 top scorers with 4 points each, that tells you just how slim it's been. Patriots 5 of 28 from the field in the first half, and Augusta was 10 of 30. So if the Patriots can keep Augusta at bay at that sort of rate, you might see the Patriots crawl back into it, but they're going to have some complete possessions where they can create a few clean strokes and get some good looks. I think I highlighted earlier, I think that maybe the Patriots had 5 possessions with clean passing to a wide open shot that resulted in an easy basket. And that's a lot different from Augusta. Many of Augusta's buckets were easy buckets underneath the rim, and along with the athleticism and activity of Darren Lucas White, picking up the slack with 10 points for the rest of it. We'll have to see if the Patriots can kind of reset here and have a better start to the second half.
So we've started, and Augusta has possession, working the ball around the perimeter. They get it into Whitehead the third. He dribbles it back out. Myers. Crawford goes in strong, and this is a foul I agree with, as Ochan Ohan goes up, and he does a good job of denying that. There's no and one possibility, and that was going to be an easy basket.
Yes, for Ochan, hey, that's a great foul, and if that puts Tyshawn Crawford on the line, Crawford for Augusta shooting looks like he's about 66% from the line. So, obviously I'll take 66% from the line rather than the dunk underneath. Make him go to the line and struggle with the free throws as he did there. Great foul by Ochan.
So he basically netted 1 point there, and the Patriots with their first possession in the second half. Cox has it deep on the left wing. Rodonius on the elbow. Crawford comes away. This is where I'd like to see the Patriots find somebody behind Crawford. And Anderson with a three-point attempt. In and out once again. That's a couple of three-pointers, 3 that I can remember, that have gone halfway down and just wound their way back out.
Yep, and I think you pointed out a strategy that Gary Edwards has highlighted. If on the offensively with the ball, if Rodonius comes out to the free throw line, Crawford comes out with him, that could free up a little bit of rim action for the Patriots.
Rodonius couldn't body up that time on the big man Crawford. Crawford went up and under, drew the foul on Rodonius, and he'll go to the line to shoot another pair.
At the line for the Jaguars, 0, Tyshawn Crawford.
I'm sorry, that was an and one. So we got the bonus. Patriots now down by 17. Ochan goes in strong, gets blocked by Crawford. Nice defensive play that time by the big fella.
Ochan forgot who he was going up against. Crawford was right there to make the block. Ochan normally is going to outman most players, or at least match up well with other centers underneath, but not against Crawford. Ochan's going to have to do something else to get it past him to get it to the rim.
Nice spin move inside. Ball's on the deck, though. Everybody's diving around for it, and the Patriots come away cleanly. Dawson there to corral the ball. He has it. Ochan goes in once again, goes up strong, can't get it to go down, keeps it alive. But Lucas White comes away with the defensive rebound. He does a step back, gets rid of it.
Can't say enough about Lucas White's action. He is moving all around the floor. He's creating opportunities for Augusta. He's making rebounds. He's scoring. He's doing everything that Augusta would need.
And another great defensive play in transition by Tyree Myers as he knocks the ball off Matthew Lee's knee, and what could have been fast break points turns into a turnover going back the other direction.
And we haven't touched on this yet, but Gaither is not on the floor. Normally a top scorer for the Patriots, but he is not available for the Patriots right now. So that's a big loss for the Patriots if they don't see him in this half.
And Lucas White drives in, gets the foul. That's going to be called on Darius Dawson, his fourth personal foul.
Substitution for the Patriots, number 24, Matthew Lee. Number 25, Julius Rodonius. At the line of the Jaguars, number 11, Darren Lucas White.
And Lucas White misses the front end, but the Patriots almost give away the offensive rebound as Whitehead the third snuck in there around Ohan.
Yep, Whitehead the third just barely got a little knuckle on that ball to knock that ball out. And you saw the Augusta bench was up in arms about the possession to the Patriots, but none of the players on the floor argued because they saw what had just happened. Whitehead had just knocked that ball out of bounds.
And Ochan could not get it to go down. He's fighting hard, looking for a shot. Just it's very difficult in there with the size. And Matthew Lee with a foul 60 feet away from the basket.
Number 24, Matthew Lee. Checking back in for the Patriots, number 30, Javon Anderson.
Javon Anderson back in for the Patriots. Over 3 minutes gone in the second half, and the Patriots have yet to score in the second half. Backdoor cut, beautiful by Whitehead the third. He can't finish. And there's a foul on the interior. That's going to be on Ohan Ochan, his second personal foul. That's the Patriots' fifth team foul. Not even 4 minutes into this half.
Well, and that's a lot of pressure from Augusta taking that ball to the rim. And Whitehead the third is really kicking himself for not making that jam. He got defended a little bit at the end, a little bit bodied up by Ochan while he was in the air. He really would have liked to have finished that off the perfect pass from Tyshawn Crawford.
And once again, another offensive rebound and another offensive rebound. So we'll see Gaither and Redparth both off the bench. We'll see if we can't get any information on that. That's awfully strange. The two leading scorer for the Patriots. Inside, Redonius. He goes up strong with the right hand. Can't get it to go. And Crawford comes away with another rebound. Entry pass goes awry, knocked out by the Patriots.
Timeout on the floor, media timeout.
That's going to take us to our first media timeout of the second half. The Patriots have been held scoreless in the second half. 13-33 is our score. Patriots down by 20. This is the Patriots Sports Network.
The Swan Fox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swan Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Here we are back at the Smith Center. The Jaguars will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. 15:41 to go in this ball game. 20-point lead. Patriots just have not been able to find a way to get good looks at the basket. Stifling defense and just possibly also just a nightmare of a matchup for this Patriots team. This Patriots team is athletic. It has some good scorers on it. They just have not been able to figure out anything against this Augusta Jaguars team. And good defense that time by the Patriots, forcing a shot clock violation.
Yep, probably the first thing they've figured out in a while was forcing that shot clock violation. So we'll see if the Patriots can flip that with a quality possession here and just continue to put up good quality possessions and just try to chip away here and play quality basketball.
Redonius for three. Back iron, no good. It was right on. He almost got his offensive board, but hard to go up against that athleticism of Lucas White. Three-pointer drained by Tyree Myers.
And this is quite a look from Augusta. Augusta beat the Patriots only by 7 when the Patriots went to Augusta. Right now, barely 5 minutes into the second half, and Augusta is up by 21.
Finally, Javon Anderson drives inside. He gets fouled by Fleener. He'll go to the line to see if he can convert the three-point play, but these are the first points for the Patriots in the second half, and it comes 5 minutes and 10 seconds in.
Yep, and that's not much different than the first half. In the first half, Patriots put a ball, scored after 11 unanswered from Augusta. It was 11-0 Augusta. Pardon me, 9-0 Augusta. Patriots scored, and then Augusta came back with a bucket to make it 11-2. That was 5 minutes into the first half. So maybe a carbon copy of the first is the second half here, the start for the Patriots, and certainly not what the Patriots wanted.
Anderson knocks down the free throw, so a little bright spot here in the second half for the Patriots. Anderson getting the and one. Skip pass all the way over. I didn't see that call. Did you see it, Paul?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And the Patriots have had a couple of stops on consecutive possessions now here, but they have yet to really execute on the offensive end, and that's why they've only got 16 points.
Ben Jones, front iron, no good. Cox gets the long rebound, goes up with the right hand, and gets the soft roll. It goes down. So the Patriots, with their longest run of the game, 5 points.
Hey, take what you can get.
And they're down by 18. Nice interior passing by Crawford. I call that a block. Patriots coming back the other direction. Redunius for three. He likes that shot. And again, there's some shooters. Roll. And Coach Edwards has still got his hands up.
Hey, he'll take it. But for Augusta, Augusta is going to sub 5 here coming in on the next break. So kind of a strategic move by Augusta while the Patriots put up a run here so far.
And I see all those 5 that are coming in are starters. So Coach Demetris does not want to let things get out of hand as the Patriots have pulled within 15.
That's a wholesale substitution for Augusta. It's not often you see a sub 5, a very rare occurrence, but you can do that when you've got a 15-point cushion against your opponent.
Whitehead, the third. Fleener has it, working on Ben Jones. He turns into Redonius, has to pull it back out. Three-pointer by Moss, no good, and Ben comes away with the board for the Patriots.
Nice glass by Ben Jones. Kicks it over to Cox. Cox brings it up, and now Cox with the possession. He's running point guard right now. For most of the second half, it's been Cox handling the ball as the one.
Ben Jones picked up his dribble, and Javon helps him out. Anderson for three. And doesn't even draw iron, but...
Yeah, Ochan was trying for the athletic grab and bounce off of number 3, Lee Fleener, but that ball didn't bounce off of him, and instead that's possession to Augusta off the air ball.
Anderson trying to pick away the dribble, gets called for the foul. That's his third, but that's also the 7th team foul for the Patriots. So with 12:20 to go in this ball game, Augusta is going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
That's a tough spot for the Pats. Any chance of chipping away is going to be minimized with any stoppage, any foul, and look for Augusta to work that ball back inside. They had been taking some jump shots here in the second half, but now that the Patriots are in foul trouble, why not take it back to the rim, keep going with what works for you, and so far working under the rim has been nothing but productive for Augusta.
And 2 free throws knocked down by Myers. Matt Lee, top of the key. Edmondson. Edmondson goes baseline. Anderson open for 3, and he's short on it again.
And you can hear the fans saying, don't foul, don't foul. And Anderson's trying his very best not to, but he's still trying to D up. He's still trying to do his very best to try to make a steal, at least put some pressure on the Augusta offense.
Inside to Sellers. Sellers has a height advantage on Anderson. He goes up and under and can't get it to go down. 2 shots from point blank won't go for Augusta, and the Patriots come away with it. Edmondson pumps, spins inside, gets stopped, kicks it back out to Dawson. And Edmondson. Nice feed by Darius Dawson. Edmondson with a strong finish and picks up the foul in turn.
Good work by Edmondson, just working his way underneath, and he's not quitting. But with the media timeout, Augusta definitely wants to get together. And for Coach Dip Metris in his 25th season, he is not too keen on the way things are going here on the most recent possessions for defending the Patriots.
So that takes us to our next media timeout. So 11:20 to go in this ball game. Patriots down by 15. Edmondson can narrow that gap by 1 from the free throw line when we come back. This is the Patriots Sports Network. There's some gamesmanship going on over on the coach's sideline. And Edmondson converts the three-point play. Yep. I think Coach Dib Metris was looking to have 2 shots instead of a finish.
Yes. And for Metris and Edwards, they've been going at it for the last 15 years since Coach Edwards came to the league. They're very familiar with each other as opponents, so no surprise they're jawing there a little bit.
Ball inside, stolen away by Dawson, playing with 4 fouls. But at this stage of the game, we need him on the floor. Fouls be darned. Dawson, bodies up. He spins, goes up and under, kicks it out. Edmondson for three, right side. Shotzi, he knocks it down.
And Edmondson with a hot hand. He drove the lane a little bit earlier, and now the baseline tray goes.
And the Patriots are now down by 11, the closest they've been since the first half. 3-point left side, no good. Kept alive by Whitehead, who stepped on the end line, fortunately for the Patriots, as he collected that offensive rebound.
It's interesting to see Augusta react to the Patriots putting their push on. Patriots have done a decent job defending against Augusta's pressure on the offensive end, and now recently they've made good on several possessions. So the Patriots have closed to within 11. The lead was as great as 20 earlier this half.
Cox backs it up. Dawson, stutter steps, kicks it outside. Wide open Anderson for three. That's his best look of the afternoon, and he's frustrated with that one. He knew that he hasn't had a look that good all game long and couldn't get it in. Crawford now gets it inside. And a nice finish that time by Fleener.
Yeah, and that's quite a disparity. A missed three on the Patriots side would have brought the lead to within single digits, but instead Augusta scores on the other end to make it a 13-point lead.
Edmondson was thinking about a three. Dawson takes it, back iron, no good.
And they've got to take those 3-point shots if they're ever going to get back into this game. And I'm looking for Dip Metris to make a couple of changes here. Augusta does not look like the same squad that they were before. Darren Lucas White is not quite as active out on the floor. Tyshawn Crawford's not getting the ball on the offensive end underneath, which had so much success for them in the first half. So it's interesting to see the Patriots try to claw their way back. Kind of a bad possession there, but we'll have to see if Augusta can right their wrongs on this next possession of their own.
Little spinning move by Dawson that time, and he didn't have any place to go and felt one of our players just didn't have a good track on where he could throw that ball and ended up in the stands. Turnover.
Yep, no player in sight. He saw the game day guidelines sign over by the seats, and unfortunately that is not an eligible player. Therefore, possession to Augusta.
Fleener gets it over. Myers has it. Crawford bodies up against Redonius. That's very strong. He was pounding into Redonius, and Redonius was doing a good job of absorbing those blows.
Yep, that was a heavyweight fight. If you've ever seen one, I'm surprised there wasn't a call one side or the other, whether that be against Redonius or against Tyshawn Crawford posting up. But either way, Crawford finishes with the two.
They're going to call that one on Lucas White. That's his first personal foul. I kind of agree with the fans behind us. Yeah. Maybe a makeup call on not calling Crawford with that very physical attack on Redonius.
Right, so instead the foul away from the ball against Lucas White. Kind of surprised that that call had not been made for most of this game.
Crossover, Matt Lee goes in, puts it outside. Redonius, high arcing shot, no good. And we're going to have a foul on the inside.
I think it's going to be Ochan.
Trying to get that offensive rebound. That's going to...
Timeout on the floor. Media timeout.
They said number 23, and that's his first foul. So once again, that will take us into a media timeout. Unfortunately, we just couldn't. We had a little bit of life, and then it just kind of flew away from us a bit.
Yeah, that's a toughie. A couple of missed three-pointers, one by Javon Anderson, another missed by Redonius. If one of those goes down, you feel like the momentum was continuing to go the Patriots' way. Instead, Augusta comes back with a couple scores of their own, and they've extended the lead back to 17.
So and possession, which they have an opportunity to take that even further. But really unfortunate, the Patriots had gotten it down to 11, and then things just went back to the way they were before.
Yes, they got it to 11, but they got it down to 11 the right way. They were making some good quality ball movement. The threes were not lucky threes. They were good looks. A couple of one slashing move underneath for Jamal Edmondson. He found the right space, so they got it down to 11. Things were clicking, but Augusta, when things started getting tight, Augusta starts to clamp down on defense. A couple of errant possessions by the Patriots, and now it's quickly back to a 17-point lead. And as you mentioned, along with possession for the Jaguars.
We're going to see Lee Fleener on the line. He'll shoot 1 and 1, and he knocks down the first one. 65% free throw shooter this season. Second free throw's up and good. So the Patriots are down 19.
Boy, and that happened so fast. They were closing down, trying to get within single digits, which would have felt really, really good. But instead, Augusta snaps right back to a 19-point lead. And I paused there. I was waiting for the knockdown from Javon Anderson, but it wasn't meant to be. I was hoping for that Shotzi call, but we couldn't get it. And Augusta has a chance to take it to 20 and beyond here with 7:22 to go.
Anderson is a good three-point shooter, and he's had a couple of open looks in this last couple of possessions. Just nobody from the Patriots has been able to generate any kind of consistent flow in their offensive game. And credit a lot. Obviously, it starts with Crawford, but if you look at the way the entire team has played defense for Augusta, you've got to give credit to all 5 of their starters and most of their bench players. Rodonius for 3, front iron, no good.
And a lot of it stems with the rebounding. Augusta still with the lead on the rebounding side, 43-29 rebounds and 15-8 offensive rebound advantage for Augusta. I think the rebounding portion of things is why things are so south here. Keeping Augusta to 46 points, that's a reasonable score here with 6:49 to go. I think if you asked Gary Edwards, hey, with 6:49 to go, Augusta only has 46, will you take it? I think he would have said yes. I don't think that he would have expected the answer to be yes, but you only have 27.
And now we're starting to see a couple of fouls on Augusta. Ben Jones had another three-pointer rattle out for the Patriots. That was a good look. And Dawson loses the ball. Lucas White, and he finishes easily on the steal.
And he finishes with that sweet left hand. Nice job by Lucas White. Lucas White, 12 points on the day. He had 10 in the first half.
And a nice move by Ohan as he got Crawford up in the air in the first move, spun around, got him up again, and made a good shot to pull the Patriots back within 20 at 19 points.
Great individual effort by Ohana Ochan to work his way around Crawford and get the shot off.
That's unfortunate that Ohan fouled because Fleener had gotten, or it was, I guess, not Fleener, but Meyer had gotten way up underneath the basket, had no shot of getting it up on the glass, and it was really a bailout foul.
Yep, and those are killers. Right now, what the Patriots are really working toward, this game is starting to look like it's out of hand. I think what Coach Gary Edwards is looking for as a coach is, did we have a quality possession? Did we have a quality defensive round against Augusta's possession? And then he's keeping track of those, maybe not so much the score right now. Hey, if the Patriots can get hot scoring-wise and get back into it, that's great. Of course, that's what they want. But what he's looking for is quality basketball, and it's been hit or miss today, to be honest.
And even when we do have a good offensive possession, there's no guarantee that ball's going in the hole because it's just not worked for us today.
That's right. And that's a good example. Tyshawn Crawford, yes, he fouled. Redonius was going to the rim, and Redonius isn't able to finish. So Crawford with the quality foul there prevents Redonius from the easy deuce. Instead, he's got to shoot 2.
He puts the first one off the back iron, and Redonius is not been on the floor a great deal to take free throws. He is 1 of 4 now in his career, if you count the ones that he's taken today, and he's only taken 2 before today.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a lot of action, so it's no surprise. In fact, this is his 5th game overall this season to even be on the floor. So he's still getting used to Peach Belt level play, even though he has some experience of his own, and of course he's got the length to show it. He's got some growing to do if he's going to improve as he ages in this league.
I like what I see today, though. I think the kid plays with a lot of heart. He's going up against the biggest guy in the Peach Belt Conference. He's been battling. He hasn't shied away. He's a work in progress for sure, but I think that he's got some skills that can be very successful. And being a freshman, that tells a lot.
Yeah, yes, it does. And in fact, you've got to know that Coach Edwards probably sat and talked to him and said, hey, you're the 7-footer. Your assignment is going to be Tyshawn Crawford. You've got to be up to the task. Mm-hmm. If you're going to play in a game like this, we need you to be the big man working against Tyshawn Crawford. And there, the denial, nice job by him. Possession still for Augusta, but he denies the pass to the post from Tyshawn Crawford. That's his job. He's the long man in this game. So talk about a trial by fire in his freshman year going up against the seasoned 7'1" Tyshawn Crawford.
Early in the first half, before Redonius was in the ball game, every time the Patriots fronted, it was an easy entry pass going over the top. And the Patriots, even though they had blown the horn for the shot clock violation, the Patriots had stolen it before that, so they get the easy bucket. Ben Jones, I believe, finished that one away.
Yep, and I think if this game were any tighter, I think Coach Metris would be up in arms on that one. As soon as that shot clock horn sounds, unless the possession is comfortably in the hands, in Francis Marion's hands, with Augusta prepared for defense, that's supposed to be an inbound.
Three-pointer, and Whitehead the third with a silky stroke over there on the right wing. Extends that lead back to 22. Jones, quick three. Back iron, no good.
The only problem with shots like that is you don't want to train those. That's probably a shot that he shouldn't take. He took it because he knew that they're down by 22, so it's not a shot that you want to be in the habit of, at least for Ben Jones.
Three-pointer attempt by the Jaguars, no good. Crawford has it on the elbow. 15 on the shot clock, and the Jaguars reset it. Fleener. And they're going to call Fleener with a travel as the Patriots double teamed. And so as we get into the last media timeout, 3:25 to go in this ball game, Patriot will have the ball and a 22-point deficit when we come back right after these messages. This is the Patriot Sports Network.
The Swamp Fox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 Coach Edwards and Demetris are having a good time with one another. And the Jaguars are applying full court pressure now with a 22-point lead. 3:19 to go in the ball game.
Well, and this is a training opportunity here, too. So Augusta is going to put full court pressure on because the players out on the floor need to learn how to do that effectively. They're going to try to do that against the Patriots. And for the Patriots need to do the very best they can to break that pressure. And now for Augusta, some nice ball handling from number 25, Daniel Allen. And Augusta has really done a good job of rotating some new players in on the floor. Definitely a new squad of 5 here as we start after that media timeout.
I think that these are some younger players that are getting some playing time. None of them on the floor right now or starters. Number 40, Jack Johnson, has had a couple of minutes of play today. Jared Carrier seeing limited action as well.
Substitution for the Patriots, number 11, Alex Cox.
Alex Cox checks back into the ball game for the Patriots as Daniel sets up for his second free throw attempt. In and out, no good. Dawson rips it down for the Pats.
Yep, Sean Moss getting some time here, and he's fronting the ball handler in Anderson.
Anderson with a step-back three-pointer. Cuts the lead down to 20.
Well, hey, it's a glimmer of shining light, and it's all they can hope for here with 2:23 to go is to knock down some shots and to play good quality basketball, even to finish. And it's going to leave them with a sour taste in the mouth, regardless of the score. But they need to finish playing right.
And I think they will. I've seen they've fought to the end of every ball game that we've played in. I'm curious to know where Redpath and Gaither are. We'll probably hear or not hear about that at some point over the next week.
Yes, and you've got to credit the Patriots a little bit. Augusta with only 54 points. Augusta put up 69 points when the Patriots were at Augusta a few weeks ago. So the Patriots playing better defense. They just can't seem to execute on the offensive end.
It's been a very, very difficult day for them on the offensive end. And this is a very good shooting ball club, close to 40% from beyond the arc on the season. They just ran into a stout defense that they could not figure out all game long. Allen drives in. No good. Edmondson comes away with the rebound.
And Edmondson is the scoring leader for the Patriots with 8 points. So Edmondson with the rare scoring lead for the Patriots. Normally it's a Redpath or a Gaither or another player on the squad. So Edmondson getting some good points today.
Jack Johnson gets it back on over to Carrier. He goes up and in.
And they're applauding Carrier. Carrier is the senior getting some time from Charlotte, North Carolina. And for Carrier,
Dawson with a three.
Carrier only has 5 minutes on the day, but he got that bucket to go. And that's why Augusta is applauding the senior getting an opportunity and capitalizing on it.
With 57.5 seconds, they've called another media timeout here, so the Patriots are down by 21. We'll be back in just a moment. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Under a minute to go here. Coach Edwards is still coaching at this media timeout. On the floor for the Patriots, we've got Alex Cox, Jamal Edmondson, Darius Dawson, Ohan Ochan, and Matthew Lee. Daniel Allen still running the point now for the Jags. He tried to skip the ball over to Carrier. Goes through his hands. Patriots with possession now.
And Augusta's going to be happy with this. They're going to get the victory. And as we talked about before, Augusta is trying to catch up with USC Aiken in the standings. Aiken looks like they're going to fall to Flagler College 76-63. So Flagler now up to 10-1 in the conference. USC Aiken at 8-5. So Augusta presumably to 7-6. Augusta could sneak up within one game of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament with the victory today and with Flagler's presumed victory earlier this afternoon.
That is a huge victory for them, and I don't have their schedule with me. I wonder if they have some of their own destiny in their hands if they play either Georgia Southwestern or USC Aiken in the next. Jack Johnson put one up, was fouled by number 21. That's Darius Dawson's fifth personal foul. He's going to go to the bench, and we'll see who Coach Edwards picks up, and he's going to get Javon Anderson.
Javon Anderson. At the line for the Jaguars, number 40, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson gets the first one to go in.
And actually, I've been talking about Augusta, but it doesn't look like Augusta has any more games on the schedule. So this is actually going to wrap it up. They had originally scheduled UNC Pembroke, but that Pembroke has canceled their season. So as for that, I think this is the swan song for Augusta. Augusta is going to finish at 7-6, and the Patriots are going to fall.
Alex Cox with the three.
Patriots are going to fall 57-41 here today.
So, my goodness, what a fascinating ball game this one was. Really couldn't put a stamp on anything that went anybody's way in this game except what you kept bringing up all game is the rebounding differential. Yeah. Neither team shot the ball well from anywhere on the floor.
Yep, it was all about the rebounding, and the final differential on rebounding, 51 for Augusta, 37 for the Patriots, but the Patriots kind of closed that gap. It was 30-19 in the first half. Offensive rebounds, 16 for Augusta, 10 for the Patriots, but that differential, along with the putbacks for Augusta in the first half, Francis Marion not being able to make the putbacks of their own, the result is a really, really lopsided score. And 57-41 doesn't even tell you just how wide that gap was. Augusta had as many as a 22-point lead in this game. Patriots closed it to 11 about a third of the way into the second half, but then after that, it was all Augusta.
And that's what they've been doing all game. Anytime the Patriots smelled anything, it was shut down. We can see that Jamal Edmondson is our star of the game for the Patriots. As you mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, he was our leading scorer. He had 9 points and 3 rebounds. So a really tough game overall for the Patriots. They'll get a chance to right the ship on Saturday when they come in and play Flagler College at 3:30-ish. On Saturday, they'll tip off after the women's game, which starts off at 1:30. The Patriots fall to 3-10. The Jaguars go to 7-6 in the Peach Belt Conference, 9-6 overall for the season. So a tough night for both of the Patriot squads this evening. All right, Paul, any final comments?
Well, you got to credit Augusta. They came out strong. They started out with an 11-2 lead. They never looked back. Their lead was as many as 22 Coach Dip Metris was substituting 5 players in at a time because he had that luxury. He was able to give some of his younger players and some of his barely used seniors opportunities to play today in what looks to be their career finale. It was all Jaguars all the time, and you got to give credit to Augusta. Crawford with 14. Lucas White was really the master, a speedster out on the floor, some great rebounding by him, and he really just he made the machine go. And Fleener kind of snuck in. You wouldn't have thought he had 10 points, but he scored 10 points on the day. He's the tied for second as far as scoring is concerned for Augusta, but can't say enough about what Augusta did. Really a complete game against the Patriots.
And I'm really glad that the Patriots don't end their season on this type of ball game, because a loss is a loss for sure, but the way this happened was just kind of an ugly way to end the season. I'm glad that's not going to be the case. I'm glad we're going to be playing on Saturday and then again on Monday evening. I believe we've got a rescheduled game coming up at that point.
Yep, and for the Patriots, it's not going to get any easier on Saturday. They're going to match up against the number 1 team in the Peach Belt, Flagler, now at 10-1 in the conference. Patriots, again, as you mentioned, they're going to match up with them at around 3:30-ish. So basically that's about 40 minutes after the conclusion of the women's game. That'll start with a tip at 1:30.
Fantastic. All righty. I'm Hubert Setzler along with Paul McDonald. And for the rest of the production team, we'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. Don't forget, 1:30 Saturday afternoon, right here at the Smith Center. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Good night.
The desire and the love to take care of people is something that you kind of have innate. You kind of just have that thing. But Francis Marion gave me the principles, and they taught me the core values. They taught me leadership qualities, and they've just been foundational and offered a family that I can keep going back to. So even though my personal biological family didn't go to a university, and I didn't really get any experience, wisdom from them for that, I gained a family that could tell me all about college and even the afterlife of college by coming to Francis Marion. And I'm not sure you would have that with, other universities. Throughout the nurse practitioner program, you're already a nurse, and you're a devoted nurse, and you don't want to just quit. And that was another thing I specifically picked this program, was because I was able to look at the curriculum and know that I could work. I even asked a couple of the professors, one being Dr. Hopla, before I started the program, and even she told me, yes, you can still work while you do this. And I did. I worked 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Sometimes it had to be six days a week to get my 40 hours in, and I still did the nurse practitioner program. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth having is easy. Which the benefit of having classmates and professors that were both working and studying is, we would get worked up and worried about how would we ever do this. And then they would say, well, I can work these 2 12-hour shifts on the weekends and then have the week to study. Or a professor may say, well, you can get creative with your hours here. So you can tell that they've done this, that you can tell that they've gotten creative with their time as well. And then all of a sudden it doesn't feel like such a daunting task because, again, you gain wisdom from their experience.
friends, let me paint you a picture. All of the graduates, all of the faculty, all of the administration, all of the Board of Trustees is decked out in their regalia. Their black robes, their hats, their gold tassels. It's just a most beautiful picture of a very formal kind of occasion. And here we march into the gymnasium, and the music is playing, and the gym is packed. And as we come in, and as you look up at all those people, you see families, huge families. You see not just mama and daddy and two brothers and a sister, but there's grandmama and granddaddy, there's the aunt and the uncle, they're the cousins, they're the next door neighbors. And you know why all those people are there? Because this is the very first one, the very first graduate. And I can guarantee you that when you go to that graduation, you leave with a tear in your eye because it's so, so special.
Choosing a college isn't easy. There are lots of choices to make and so many variables to consider. How do you know when you've found just the right place? The right college will make you feel at home, and that begins with a sense of place. At Francis Marion University, we have a beautiful campus that's safe, well-maintained, and filled with smiling faces. It's the kind of place where you feel you belong, where you wake up in the morning and know that the day ahead will be one you'll savor and enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean life at FMU is easy. There will be challenges. Hard work is expected. We take our academics seriously. You should too. Earning one of our degrees is a real achievement. But some toil, some time invested in a difficult task, that's okay. That's how you grow, how you become someone. FMU is a comprehensive public university, and when it comes to academics, our students have a wide range of choices. We offer more than 75 majors and courses of study. Our professional schools in healthcare, engineering, business, and education are all well-known and respected across the state. At the same time, the arts and the sciences remain the core of what we do. They are the perfect foundation for a successful career and a meaningful life. Programs are important, and we'll continue to work to produce new curriculum that meets the needs of our changing world. But we also know that a great education is less about what is taught and more about who is doing the teaching. FMU's faculty is made up of distinguished scholars and renowned researchers. They're experts in their field and expert teachers too. They love the give and take of the classroom and revel in the progress their students make. In FMU's intimate academic environment, where small classes are the norm, you'll get to know a lot of these dedicated men and women. Some you will remember forever. The academic work and its rewards are why you are here. But there will be a time and place for play too. We have more than 60 different student organizations and field teams in 14 NCAA sports. A robust schedule of extracurriculars is a big part of each semester. You'll find space here for rest and relaxation. You'll make new friends and build relationships that last a lifetime. And then, almost as quickly as it all began, it will be over. You will graduate and move on to a life and career full of promise. You'll leave memories behind. You'll leave FMU, but you'll be welcome back anytime. Home is like that, you know.